Okay, I'm going to talk about memory uh, for the next few minutes. It all started back in July 22nd, 2013, when I went and get it and had a seizure. And I went in, I had a seizure at a cafe, and I had one at the emergency room. So sometime between then and when I had surgery, I had to go in and take an MRI to to a special MRI to map my brain, which is that way they could tell when they they were getting too close to making me a vegetable, I guess. And so I took the MRI, and while you're not in the MRI, they ask you questions like name name a zoo animal. I couldn't think of anything. A farm animal. I couldn't think of anything. And I told the guy, I said, "Man, I didn't do too good. I hope and I didn't mess it up." He said, "As long as you are thinking, it'll be okay." Only thing before that, I couldn't remember the name of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers before all the stuff started. I don't know if I was because I was getting old but I was doing a pretty high level AutoCAD. I was making a map of the job site, which is everything is based off that map. It's all X's and O's, 3D, and it's very difficult. And I worked on it until the day I had surgery, and I just completed the MRI. I mean the the 3D right before I left, so they could stake out anything they wanted from that 3D. So I didn't have any trouble with that, and it was a new software. It was a MicroStation. I was used to using TerraModel, so I was using new software. I didn't have any trouble with it, and then I had my MRI. I couldn't remember anything, and that was to map my brain. And then I had the surgery, and I'm sure you you lose some of your memory by the surgery. And I heard the chemo and the radiation will also play a part in that. So, hey Phil, Jane, Julie. So anyway, I had my MRI to map my brain, and after that, I had the surgery and the chemo and the radiation, and I don't know what part of it messes with what part. But, I know you get chemo brain, and hey, I just got through working out. I'm getting ready to go drive Lyft. How you doing, Phil? And where was I at? So I was very. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to take my chemo or take too much. But we made it through all right. My dad came down and he didn't do much help. I was more worried about taking care of him because he's a diabetic. He goes into low blood sugars. But now I'm looking back, and I remember all my my friends and family's names. Uh, I, I see Michael with the dead soldiers all the time. I'm his Uber driver. I see him at the gym. I see him all. I could not remember his name, so I had to type him up on Facebook, and there's all kind of things I can remember and I can't remember, like John Paul Keith. I can't remember that all the time. He's another musician. So for some reason I say musician as magician. The same way as we got this. I know I do that anyway. This road runs all the way across Memphis from one end to the other. It's called Poplar Street, and every time I'd say it, it'd come out popular. So I had to say it over and over and over until I could finally say popular. The same thing with musician, and but if I forget somebody's name, I have to go back and John Paul Keith. I couldn't remember it. The last video I recorded, Motel Mirrors. And the Grizzlies. I should know all the Grizzlies basketball team, but I couldn't remember last time. His name is Troy Daniels. He's a new guy. He shoots 3-pointers. I couldn't remember Zach Randolph, Zebo. I remembered Mike Conley, Larry Allen, and Mark Gasol. And I can remember the combinations on my 2 locks that I use at the gym. One thing I really had trouble with when I worked out, I had trouble keeping up with the reps. So I'd do more. But then not only that, I forget how many sets I did. So it's just this is a miracle that I can remember anything. If you have trouble memorizing, it gets better. And that's about all I can say, is that you just got to stay with it. I mean, if something don't come out right, you got to just keep practicing over and over and over. And I can think of all kinds of things that I say wrong. And if these are all local musicians. This is Mark Edgar Stewart. And John Paul Keith, and Tony Maynard, but anyway, if it's just practice and stick with it, it will come back. I don't think I think if I'd have stayed on chemo, it would have got worse instead of better. I quit doing chemo in May of 2014, and I think my memory got better every day. It takes a while. I mean, it don't happen overnight. I couldn't hardly talk at all a few years ago, and I guess your brain is just amazing. So keep at it, and I'm sure a lot of it's chemo brain. I saw that Gordie Howe from a Tragically Hip. I saw that the other day, and he couldn't even remember his kids' names, and it's got to be from chemo that's doing that. And I just, that's pretty bad. I remember everything that's ever happened. I remember it. It's a short-term memory recall. That's the main problem. And yeah, you're right, Phil. I'm doing pretty good this time. And I really think it's the chemo. I know some of the surgery because it's like I was reading yesterday. You see the tumor, and underneath it's like a bunch of ants chewing into your brain, and they have to be very careful not to go too far, or you'll be a vegetable. And the radiation and the chemo, I can't see it doing any good. And so I've been taking turmeric and garlic. Garlic was the first thing I took. I took it. I was cancer free for about a whole year, and then it came back. And this is a band called Short in the Sleeves. It's good. But anyway, I stayed clear for all of 2015. No signs of the disease. They won't tell you you're cancer free. And it came back, and my oncologist told me that I was going to have to go back on chemo and possibly have surgery. So I went to see she sent me to another surgeon, oncologist, whatever he is, and he said it wasn't too bad, that if we could take 3 months and find out if it's growing. So we waited 3 months, and it was pretty much the same, but it was done by 2 different machines. So he said, why don't we wait 3 more months, and we'll take it from the same machine, his machine, his MRI machine, and it went down. It shrunk, and this is aggressive tumors. They don't shrink. So I was very excited, and so we waited 3 more months, and it was gone. I was in August of 2016, and so we did that one, and I was pretty sure it was the turmeric and the garlic, and because I haven't had chemo since May of 2014. So I was pretty sure then, and usually the second one is the one that's aggressive. It shrunk. So I was very, and we waited 3 more months, and I took one in November 28th, 2016, and it was, all they would say is it's better than better than before. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm cancer free. They don't like to say that, but there's no sign of the disease, and I'll take another one in March. And thank you, Phil. To Tinder Burke, Lisa Michelle Gafford, Cody Guy. I hope this helps, because I really think chemo is bad, and I will do anything I can do to not take chemo, and it's bad, and it gives you chemo brain, for that guy, the lead singer of the Tragically Hip. I don't know him that well. It's my girlfriend's from Canada. She knew him. I found out he had the same kind of cancer I have, glioblastoma multiforme grade 4. And he can't even remember his kids' names, and it's not right. And I read somewhere that chemo will be replaced by turmeric pretty soon, but nobody researches it, and I wonder why, because it doesn't cost anything. Turmeric's been out for ages. And, that's how I found out about it. I didn't discover it. I going by to different sites, and I went to a lot of turmeric sites. Turmeric and this you can I forgot what it is now. Turmeric has got something in it. Somebody help me out. But anyway, I don't even want to take those pills. I like to take the raw turmeric powder. It's well, I'm forgetting all kinds of stuff. Anyway, turmeric powder, garlic powder, cayenne pepper powder, and raw garlic. The other stuff is in pills. I don't know how to get them. I haven't tried it, so I can't say good or bad about it. It's I don't know enough about it. Curcumin. Thank you, Marty. Turmeric has curcumin in it, and they somehow take the curcumin out. I don't know about that stuff. I just know the powder, and I do all organic. It comes from Amazon.com. It's called you can look it up. It's on my webpage. It's all God. I can almost see it on it's in a big plastic bag. But anyway, I think that's all I got to say. I hate to see people on chemo anymore, because I think I just think turmeric is better. And I was just talking with a guy in the gym. He goes to my church. I just happened to run into him. He was the one that got me on the salt that I take. I've got it too. We're talking to him about it. It's pink salt. Something pink salt. And I guess I'll go drive Uber and make some money. And but please, if you can not do chemo or for a while or lay off of it, try the turmeric and the other stuff I'm doing, the cayenne pepper and the garlic and the ginger. I think you'll be better off. And that's all I got. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.